how are you today? I am okay. I just finished my second book. It's already on Amazon. In the process of finishing the book and doing a little bit of a research and planning my third and fourth book, I stumbled on something very interesting, how society at large are behaving in today's world. Like this whole virus nonsense got to them so deeply. It's a scary thing. No one is asking any more questions. First of all, you need to figure out from a reliable source what the virus actually is. No one does that. And when you try to point that out, you are right away you are being labeled. Um, let's not go to the names. And then it's the fact that people are using a lot of disinfectants and sanitizers. Those things, they have a lot of nitrates and other ammonia compounds. I mentioned that in my previous video. This argument doesn't get through them. They don't understand that right now, after so many months, this is already accumulated in your body. And now with the weather changing, where you're going to have more dry air inside, your lungs are going to respond and you're going to be in trouble. Not only on top of that, any other pollutants which react with nitrates or any form of ammonia compounds, they are going to cause problems. Kidney stuff, lung, liver, and what's not. More and more people are going to be affected by that. Young kids going to school. Schools are like a toxic place where they are sprayed, the handles are constantly washed and sanitized. That's ridiculous. That's stupidity to max. I don't know how to name that. Those young developing bodies are going to suffer a lot because of that. But let's move that aside. I am not here to tell you what to do. It's your personal choice. More and more you are acting like you have to stop. You need to stop, think what is working for you. Stop relying on what other people are saying or doing. Ignore that. What is your gut telling you? Because you need to at some point start using this over what my family is saying, what my neighbors are saying. Screw them. They are not part of your body. They are not part of your system. If they are against whatever you are uh, presenting, cut them off. That's it. That's what I do. If somebody is not willing to even accept a conversation where you can present your point without being labeled, bye bye. I don't miss them at all. It's much wider room for me, more space, more freedom. And I'm looking for people that I can share my thoughts and my opinions. The problem is here not to disagree with some opinion. How you are acting in that exchange, in that conversation, because some people, they are willing to listen to the end, saying, oh, very nice view on the subject. I disagree with that. I have a lot of respect for people like that. But there are people that interrupt you in the middle of conversation. They just stop you. Just, nothing. Just shut up. Don't talk. Okay. One of guys recently in the office, I was going through some stuff. He, in like friendly conversation, I presented to him that this whole thing, there are so many unknown that it's time to start asking questions. The first thing he asked, do you have degree in that? I said, no. Then stop. You have no knowledge. You cannot present your view because you don't know what you're talking about. You have to have a degree. I said, okay, nice to see you. I'll never come into this office again. And that's what I did. You need to cut off people like that from your life. Just because you don't have a degree, just because you are not some famous guy which has a million followers or what's not, uh, knows nothing on the subject, because that's not true. There are millions of people, self-educated people, which know more on the subject than those which have degree. Degree doesn't mean anything. Degree is only one thing and one thing only. It proves to the world that you were trained in specific field, and that little letters that you are using, it says that you are qualified and trained in that field. That doesn't mean that you are intelligent or smart at all. It has nothing to do with your intelligence, believe me. And I met many people which have PhDs. They are throwing those fancy letters all around. Look, I have degree. Well, you have degree, but you are still stupid. Simple as that. Don't do that to yourself. If you are in the conversation with someone, just make sure that person feels in that conversation that is at least equal you. Don't bring them down, because that's frequently is happening. What are those people trying to prove? You have no PhD, you have no degree, you cannot have discussion on the subject because you know nothing. Believe me, world like that is not going to go far. We are already, as I mentioned in those previous videos, we are slipping farther and farther into dark ages. And this is a very dangerous place right now. We passed already the Holy Inquisition, in the French Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. We are already sending cops to arrest people for not wearing a mask, for simple things like that. There was beating up in Tim Hortons. There was somewhere in States as well. What's the deal with that? Why would you call cops because someone decided not to wear a mask? This is only in your favor, because if you get infected, you are gonna get immunity to that. As you know, if you understand this virus, it's posing zero threat to you, unless you are who is breathing oxygen all day. That's a different story. Anything is going to affect you. But if you are a healthy person, what are you afraid of? What's the deal here? Think about it. And there is one more subject that I want to talk about it, because there's a lot of commotion about this whole defund police. I am supporting that 100%. And let me explain why. I'm not gonna go through details, but number one, police was designed to be a shield between you and the politicians. They are a private force against you, protecting politicians. I hope you understand that. Secondly, how would you feel if your daughter or your son goes out the door to work as a policeman or policewoman only to take a gun and point at you? How would you feel? Oh, my daughter wouldn't do that. If she got ordered, or your son got ordered to shoot you, they either have the choice to obey or walk away from the job. There is no in between. How would you feel if you are going to work and the first thing you need to do is go to arrest your father or your mother or your brother? If they resist the arrest, you need to shoot them. How would you feel? Number two, in that whole scenario, why should those people risk their lives for the politicians? If politicians have problems, they can come to you and ask questions. What is it that you don't like? What is it that we need to change? Because they are working for you, those son of a bitches, not the other way around. So ask yourself the question one more time. Would you like your son go to work and point gun at you? I think not. So, end of discussion. However, this needs to be done smart way. The people in the police force, they already understand that. They don't need to risk their lives for you. We need to take preventive steps to make sure that the crime in our community is down, that if there is a problem, we have to deal with that, not someone else for us. The government also understands that. The government is used as a shield against you, the taxpayer. That's where the money comes from, because government is not getting any money from the corporate world, and the corporate world is using that, using police, they are using government against you, and that has to stop. That's why step one, they need to be defunded. Same thing with hospitals, fire departments, paramedics. They are being used, they are being abused. Ask them yourself. You don't have to believe me. How many paramedics are forced to take vaccines? How many fire department personnel has to go through some stupid shit that they don't have to go through because they have to follow orders? Do they need to do that? No. So it's time to put an end to that. You do know the situation in hospitals with the superbugs and what's not. Who is doing this? The chemicals, the big pharma. They are abusing those people. In what? In for what? Because you feel like you cannot fart and you have to go to emergency room? Get real. You don't need hospitals. Absolutely not. It's time to close them down. Your job is to make sure you're healthy, because none of your health issues are accidental. You did them on purpose, on your own time. You neglected your body for the past 30 or maybe 40 years. And now you want other people to fix that for you. No, it's your problem. You deal with it. Okay? Sorry for the negative uh, aspect of this video, but this is something that you need to hear from somebody. I know that the famous people are not going to tell you that because they are afraid, because YouTube is going to shut us down. Facebook is not allowed to put us on Facebook. Don't really care. Someone had to tell you that. So there you have it. Okay? Other than that, have a pleasant day. I don't hate anybody. This is not a message of hatred or whatever. This is only to make steer your mind so you can start thinking for yourself. Stop relying what others do or say. Don't be the goddamn sheep. Start acting like a human and get organized. Work with others. Stop constantly seeing colors, or he has PhD or he doesn't have PhD. That's not important. Okay? Be smart. You are human. We are all brothers and sisters. If we kill each other, who's gonna run this show? Nobody. Rats and mice. All right? See ya.